So I just did my first fiberglassing for this boat. When I was a little kid growing up, actually let me show you, hang on a sec. So when I was a kid growing up, I built this model boat of the Starline ferry boat up in Mackinac Island, Michigan. I had gone on a trip when I was, I would say 14 or 15 years old, and we went to Mackinac Island and we took the ride on this Starline ferry. And I came home later and I decided to build a model of that ferry boat and try to make it radio controlled and everything. Well, it didn't turn out too bad as far as looks for a, I don't know, I was probably 15 years old, 14 or 15. But it didn't work too well. But the interesting part was the hull of this boat is fiberglass, or fiberglass covered wooden shims, basically. I built the bulkheads and everything out of, I forget, plywood, I think. And then I covered it with wooden shims, very thin wooden shims. And then my dad got me some fiberglass and some resin and some fibers. And we covered it and sanded it, and it turned out really nice, the hull did. As far as it was waterproof, everything, and it was shaped right and everything. But the radio control part didn't work. We drove it on the water a little while, but it didn't turn out too great. We used a Makita drill battery that we stuck up in that hole to power the battery motor. And anyway, it was kind of top heavy, and it kind of worked. But anyway, I still got the boat today. My boys have been playing with it, kind of tore it apart. The interesting part was, when I got this boat, I had no idea how boats were built, fiberglass boats were built on the inside when I was building this little one. And we actually filled all the holes. Let me see, hang on a sec. Let me see if I can show you. We actually filled all these holes with foam when we were building this little model boat. And that's obviously exactly what the big one has. Between the bulkheads and the stringers, there's foam. And I had no idea that real boats were built that way when I built this 15, 17 years ago, something like that. I'm 32 now, and I was 14 or 15 when I built this little boat. So anyway, I thought that was pretty interesting. So anyway, I just got done fiberglassing my first two pieces, put resin on, put fiber chop strand on that, 1.5 ounce chop strand. Man, I didn't know that stuff was that messy. Those fibers are a mess. And then on this piece, which is one of the stringers, we cut them out earlier and fitted everything. And we actually were able to use a lot of the old pieces for a template to cut out the new ones. And we fitted it in there, made sure it fit, and then I just covered the stringer, just covered it with resin. It's not gonna, I didn't put any fibers on it because the tabbing is gonna basically, I'll just make sure the tabbing basically covers it once we put that in. And then that is the cabin floor. So that's the underside. I covered the underside of the cabin floor, 1/2 inch exterior grade plywood. And then once the inside of the boat is dry, took everything out all the way up to the septic tank, I guess. Whatever you call the section up there where the sewage goes in. So yeah, right now we up here in the bottom here, I took a rag and some water and I washed it. Didn't really want to take the pressure washer in here yet. So I took a rag and washed it, and now I got the fan blowing here to help dry it out quicker. So yeah, and we have everything cleaned and up front. We're gonna put most of the cabin pieces back together before we start on the transom. I decided to do that to give it a little bit more strength up front, because basically the hull is just a shell right now. It's not a lot of strength inside holding it together and making it strong. So just to be safe and everything, I'm going to put the cabin pieces together, the bulkhead up that goes into the cabin. That'll give it a lot more strength in the first, third of the boat, front third of the boat. And then in the back, we're having to take out the transom, everything in the back and replace the transom as well. So it's gonna be interesting, but it's fun. I love it. My family's here. Some of them, Barbara and Lanita. There's Kosh in the background, and the rest of the kids were out there playing, but they were here just a bit ago. So anyway, family project, having a blast. If you ever have a boat you get to rebuild or restore, I think it's fun. So hope you guys are enjoying the videos. Feel free to subscribe, like, and share. See you guys in the next one.